And what we're going to cover today is the one business model that made me and pretty much all of my millionaire friends into millionaires. In the first place, why 100k per month is a lot easier than you think. I'm going to give you the math behind this, real example behind this, and on and on. The 4-step system to get you there as soon as possible. And when you're so clear on being able to do this, also why you don't need to be an expert to do this. 100k per month, my friend, is easier than you think. It might feel like a scary number, but trust me, after this video, it's not going to feel that way. And also, real numbers behind people that are doing this per month, doing this per year, in niches like knitting and alcohol, piano addiction, and many others as well. And what I am about to give you and share with you in this video is the full plan, the full blueprint, every step that you will need. Let's go. So I will tell you a story about a girl. She lives in Dubai. She was making like 15k per month teaching knitting with her knitting community. And her system was pretty simple. She has a YouTube channel into a school community. It was 1k for a year. She was selling around 12 to 15 per month and making about 17k per month. My question to you is this: if knitting can generate 17k per month, just imagine what your skill or knowledge or your talents could generate. And here why this works in this pattern that I see. 90% of the millionaires that I personally know, they are clients of mine, they are friends of mine. They all got there by selling knowledge, selling courses, coaching and consulting. And here's some real life examples from some of those friends and clients. So sales training, making over 3 million a month as of now. Today, how to get 6 packs around a lot of money. How to become a barber or get more barber clients around 100k a month. Real estate investing is an obvious one. She's doing around a very big number. Stop drinking alcohol around 80k per month at the moment. Amazon buying and selling around 200k per month. Luxury watch education, and again, buying and selling and trading luxury watches around 40k a month. Commercial cleaning 50k a month, like teaching people that, not doing but teaching people that, of course. And finally, trading education, which made me 16 million for my first company. And the pattern is pretty simple and pretty evident. You learn something, you master it, you teach it to others, and then you make a lot of money from actually doing that. A hell of a lot of money, as you can see here on the screen. And this is why knowledge business win, because the advantage really stark. They are amazing business, very high integrity, because you are actually helping people with usually a skill or a talent or a passion that you have, something that you love, something that you are really good at. So it's very fun and high integrity to do. It can be very fast as well. I see people get to 100k a month very quickly and beyond, and it can be done. If you do it right, it can be done in just a few months. The profit margins are absolutely huge. So it's not uncommon for the margin to be 89 plus versus about 55-25% in traditional business. Sometimes when these normal everyday business guys find out about the info space, they just can't believe the margin. But it actually makes a lot of sense when you know what the costs and how are the legal costs are. And 9 will teach 6 and 7. So again, you don't need to be world class, and in many cases you should not be world class. You just need to be a few steps ahead of the people that you would like to work with and teach. And just to drive this point home, I just want to share a free real life client example. So the commercial and cleaning guy that I work with, he came to me with nothing but an idea. He didn't have a funnel, he didn't have social media, he didn't have ads. He didn't have an offer, he didn't have anything, just a great idea. 8 to 12 weeks later, just an idea. 8 to 12 weeks later, he was making roughly 30k per month. That's what he was tracking for. And the peak months that he experienced within the year was 55k, just teaching what he already knew. The piano teacher I work with, so he was charging 3k for a 3-month program. One group call a week. He was making well over 100k per month toward the end of that offer, just teaching people to play piano. Incredible. My trading business, so I always say I started around as 4 on the scale when I started teaching, and it was helping zeros and 1 and 2s. I made 16 million in total over 5 years and then sold that company last year to a private equity firm in America. So that the pattern should be evident by this stage. Average skill, really great system, extraordinary income. And in the system that glues a lot of this stuff together, because there's a lot of talented people out there, they just don't have the system, and that's what I'm giving you in this video today. I am giving you the best fucking amazing information. So let's get into the system. This is the 4-step system to 100k per month, and these are the things that you got to do. These are the things that you have to get done. So step 1 is to get a skill. Either pick one that you have or learn, or something that you are incredible like talent. With someone that has one, step 2, you need to get the attention by either building an audience, running paid ads, or both. Step 3, you then need to create an offer and understand what are you going to offer to people, and then get out there and offer it to them. Basically, you pick your skill or talent and you share it with your people. And step 4 is then when you got those people, you're going to exchange their money for your value. And that's it. That is the whole game. So let's break down each one of those so that you can fully understand them. So step 1 again is the skill, and it's what you're going to teach. And you are going to either do one of 2 things. So option A is to teach what you already know and to ask yourself, well, what are you good at? Fitness, music, trading, poker, football. I was actually on a call with someone yesterday teaching electronic music production, doing about 100k per month, and that's in the broad musician market. So you will really be amazed how far you can scale. Some of these niches, some of these business, equally it might be business or marketing or sales or designs or relationships. I got a friend in the marriage and divorce space doing over $1 million a month, closer to $1.5 million a month, helping people to recover from divorce and fix their marriage and stuff like that. Or it might be health, or it might be mindset, it might be a hobby or a craft that others want to learn in some ways. So the option A, option B is to either learn something new or actually go and partner with someone who is already doing something that's valuable. Now, to do this and to learn something new, you're going to have to study for 1 or 2 or 3 months. You have to read books, watch YouTube videos, maybe buy a few courses, maybe enroll in a coaching program, and you're going to do that until you're a 3 or a 4 onto the scale. And while you're there in, So once you are like a 10 or a 7 in your ability, you are ready to go. The knitting lady did that. It did it in many ways, and you can do it, and you can do that too. The knitting girl is the girl that sells knitting online, making 17k a month. That's an acceptable route. Now again, let me just recap some skills that make 100k per month, or just below or just above. Sales training, trading, real estate, stop drinking alcohol, buying and selling things on Amazon, getting 6-pack abs, how to grow your business. That are examples that are making a lot of money. Honestly guys, almost any valuable skill with the right system, built in the right way and running the right way, can hit 100k per month. It really can. So that's the step 1. Step 2, let's talk about attention and the 2 ways that you can now, when you decide what are you going to teach, how can you go out there and get attention and start getting leads and calls and sales. Method A is to build an audience, which is slow but it's free, and this is where you can start a YouTube channel, make an Instagram account, make a TikTok account, maybe a Twitter account. And you're going to post valuable content all day. And I just want to say, you don't need a big audience to make a lot of money. All you need is 1 or 2 or 3K people, sometimes less, that love you and trust you. They love you and they trust you and they respect you, and if they have the problem, you solve them. If they have a problem, you solve them. If you can get a true Once you start getting attention, you are starting to talk to people and you book someone in for a call. You get them on a call, you are going to understand their problem, you are going to explain how you can help them, you are going to share your offer, share your price, let them decide yes or no. And that's it. And if you haven't seen last week's video, go and watch that next, because I give you my exact sales scripts, my pitch deck, how to handle objections, exactly what to say and how to say it. So if you haven't seen that last video from my last week, go watch that later. If you don't want to watch my video, you can read the book The Secrets of Closing the Sale from Ziegler. Super fucking amazing. And there is no hard selling here. There's no pressure. It's just simple, genuine, honest conversation with a lot of love. And the right people will say yes and pay you. And it's really magical, amazing experience when this starts to happen to you, because I know it. I know it. You're going to have calls with people and they will give you 5 grand or 10 grand or 15 grand. But I mean, I've been doing this for so many years now, for myself, for other people, and this will happen and you will make a lot of money if you will the system right. And at 5K to 10K per client, well, you only need 5 clients, 10 clients, 20 clients a month to make 100K per month. And it's a lot easier than people think. It's a lot easier than people think, for real. So to hit 100K per month, you need the right math. So just let me give you the math so you understand. Option 1 is high volume, medium price. Now by medium price, I mean around 5K. And if you get 20 clients, that's it. You are at 100K. Option 2 is medium volume, but high price. So let's say you have a 10K offer and just got 10 clients. Well, again, there you go. You're at 100K per month. Option 3 is closer to what I like to do, which is much lower volume but a premium price tag. And it would like something like this, around say 50K, 25K, and that price, well, 4 clients and you're already at 100K. Now again, I like to do a little bit mix. So I have a group program, a one-to-one program, a done-for-you program. I also have a workshop and a mastermind. And we average about 500 a month cash right now, and it's down to that. There's like 8 billion people on planet Earth. Do you think you could just get 10 people to give you 10K? I'm telling you that you can, for real, my friend, you can. If you do things right, and again, which sounds easier of these 3 options, not to mention the higher the price, the higher quality the clients, the better results that they get. So charge high prices. Therefore, the better testimonials that you get. Therefore, the more sales that you're going to get through word of mouth long term. Now, my minimum price is about 5K. My average price is about 15K to 20K, and my premium price is about like 100K. But that's a very, very, very powerful offer. Now, month 1 is where you set the foundation. You got to do this or else things fall apart later. So when it comes to setting your foundations, here's what you're going to do. You're going to choose your skill or your talent or your knowledge, or partner with someone that has it. You're going to start either creating content or running paid ads, or either both. You're going to start to build your offer, put together your deliverables. And my deliverables, what are you going to sell? It's a course, group coaching, one-to-one coaching, in-person consulting, it's via Zoom, it's in person, it's a work doc. What is that you are going to deliver when people buy? And you're going to start to get your first few paying clients. You are going to start attracting a lot of clients. Month 2 to 3, you're going to start refining your message. You're going to start increasing either your ad spend or your content flow and putting out more or better content. And you're probably going to start wanting to think about hiring the help with delivering or support or sales or messaging. Basically, you will need to hire a lot of humans if you want to scale to like 3 million USD amounts. Month 3 to 4 is where the breakthrough is going to start to occur. And here you're going to be optimizing your funnel flow. Again, starting to build a team and fast moving towards 1 million a month. If you're getting stuck month 3, 4, 5, 6 and you're still not at 1 million per month, something is wrong somewhere in the system. Because if you do exactly what I tell you today and you do it properly and you do it for long enough, 100k per month is simple. It's just an inevitability. It's just mathematically you're going to get there if you do what I tell you to do in this video. And as a real example of this, I just want to come back to my cleaning client. Now, week 1 he came to me with an idea, nothing else, and he hired me to help him. Week 2 we built a simple offer, 3k pounds to start with about 4k US dollars. And we created the sale process and got going. Week 4 he had his first ever close. His first person paid him 3k. By week 5 he hit 50k in total sales, not per month but in total sales. And by week 9 he hit 100 pounds cash, 100k pounds cash again, not per month but in total sales volume. Now I just want to reiterate it. He didn't have a personal brand at all. He didn't have any audience at all. He didn't even have a website at all. He just had a very good, well-built funnel, very good copywriting, and that just means all the words that you say in your ad, your content, your funnel, your sales script, very good copywriting. He had a clear skill that people want to learn based on his experience and a very good, well-built offer. And that is all that you need to make tens of thousands of dollars, and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and millions of dollars. Now, I think it's fair to say this by far one of the fastest, simplest, easiest business to start and grow pretty much on planet Earth. And the reason is you don't need any inventory, you don't need a warehouse, you don't need any employees, you don't need a physical location, and there's zero complex operation. You just need to run some simple ads, make some simple content, send it to an explainer video, talk to people and sell them your program. And if we're comparing to service business, you're not trading time for money. There's a massive one-to-many leverage. The profit margins are, I dare say, some of the highest on planet Earth of any business, and they're very, very scalable and compared to content creation alone. These businesses are way more profitable than ad revenue and sponsorships, faster and easier to start and grow. You can run ads, so you don't actually need to make any content at all if you don't want to, like I did in my old business. When you help people and add real value to people's life, you get rewarded. And it's not just financially either, but you truly impact lives, you really get fulfilled. You also create generational wealth, and you also build meaningful relationships as well. A lot of these people I work with, most of the people I work with, they become friends. And we meet up for dinner, and we meet up for coffee, and they come over my villa, my house, and they meet my girlfriend. And I would say more than half of the customers and clients that I work with, that become the case. And it's really nice to build great relationships and know that you're actually making a difference. It's not just money out with this business. You really build a lot of connection and a lot of value, and it's just fantastic for actually truly helping people. To give you an example, my knitting friend, she's not just making 17k per month, she's living her dream life. She's building a great community that really helps people. She's doing what she loves and what she's passionate about, and she's helping people to learn a craft that they love and that adds a lot of value to their life as well. And again, that's what this business model gives you to you. That's magical, that's wonderful. Now, I want to give you an action plan here so that you can just go and get one with this video and go and make this happen. As soon as you watch this video, so this week, I want you to list some of the skills or talents or knowledge that you have, pick the most valuable and one and start researching who will pay to learn this. One place to start, and I give you an example of this. I was on a call with a gentleman a few days ago, and he was saying, well, I want to help people to stop drinking alcohol, but I don't think anyone is going to pay me to learn that. So I shared my screen, I went onto YouTube and I shared stop drinking alcohol. And one of the first videos, it has about 1 million views. Surprise, surprise, it leads to a safe funnel, and it just shows the guy and I say, listen, can you see how big the market is? Can you see this going into a sales funnel, a sales process? There's an offer at the end of this. And just imagine no one, that's beautiful. I mean, there's a very big market for stop drinking alcohol. When someone comes to me with a niche, I go on YouTube and I search it. I go on Google and I search it. I just start to do the discovery. And that's your first step, is to go and do your discovery. Go and do your research. In the next 2 weeks, you are going to create a basic offer around 2, 3, 4, or 5K minimum. And you're going to outline what you're going to teach and how. Then you're going to start either posted content or creating and running paid ads, or again, both if you choose. In the following 30 days, you're going to start to have your first few conversations, start to get your first few calls booking, and hopefully start to close your first clients. Then you can deliver massively value to them, eventually get testimonial from them and repeat. And in the following 90 days, you're going to start to just refine everything. You're going to start to push on the gas, scale to 1K, 10K, 30K, 50K a month over time. Build system and process to help you continue running an operation and growing the business, and just things. In the following 12 months, eventually, if you do this right, you're going to get to 100K per month. It's just, if you what I told you today, you cannot get there because it's just mathematically sound. It's just proving that it works. Now, let's just pause for a second, because I'm sure that some of you have some questions, some ideas, some objections. I brought in a few here, just in case you have this. So for any of you thinking, well, I'm not an expert, you don't need to be, you can be free to teach at once. You know, for any of you thinking, yeah, but well, in my niche, people won't pay me 1K, 3K, 5K. Well, let me remind you of the knitting woman. Let me remind you of the girl that makes 17K per month teaching knitting. Let me remind you of the electronic music producer guy that I had a call with literally yesterday, about 14 hours ago, that's making over 100K a month, helping people making music tracks on the internet. So yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will pay those prices. Maybe you're thinking, well, yeah, but I don't have any audience. Well, neither do lots of my friends making 5K, 100K a month. Ridiculous. One friend of mine helping people growing their YouTube channels, making 200K a month. It's amazing, bro. The possibilities are amazing.